Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten and I have another Trump-related reading for you guys today. This one is based on a suggestion by one of my Patreon members, Charlene Garcia. She wants to know what in the world would cause Mike Flynn or anyone to sell out their country. What would be his reason or decision behind doing that? So I'll do my best to answer the question. I just pulled 3 cards. I'm using my Modern Spellcaster's spell deck. Modern Spellcaster's Tarot deck, and the Sibilla Indivina today to clarify. So I'm going to try to rush this. So I'm not going to tell you what every card means. I'm just going to kind of tell you what I see. And at times I may kind of channel the cards and seem to go in and out of making sense. But just take it as maybe a separate message, okay? So we have the 4 of Swords, clarified by the Widow. So why would Flynn betray his country? Says that maybe he was going through a depression, period of vulnerability. Something in his life maybe he viewed as a failure. Maybe that was his thought process. He could have thought that he failed someone or they failed him. He failed to follow standards, to follow protocol. He could have been going through some kind of trauma or breakup, some sort of stress in his life, having financial worries. Something made him very vulnerable. Maybe he betrayed his wife. Maybe he did something to make some money. And when he did that, he became vulnerable. Was infiltrated, basically, compromised. So someone made a proposal, a circle of friends, I feel like corrupted him, making him their informers. Again, I feel like he's gone through a moral test. He has failed his test. He has no consciousness of care at this point. Mike Flynn is a liar. And I feel like he worked for at least 4 different countries, on behalf of 4 different countries. He was an agent for at least 4 different countries. He's very quiet. He keeps his feelings and information to himself. He carries information. He processes information. He's got information that he has not yet opened up about. That he's still holding back about. Maybe on the part of a woman, or because of a woman. Okay, so with the Strength card, his unlikely alliances, associations, unions, gave him a sense of power, confidence, and strength. He could focus on what he needed to. His position of strength and power gave him a lot of insight and protection to go where he wanted to go and do what he wanted to do. His job was to create trust and to gently influence or coax the beast here being Trump, as he traveled with the beast from state to state. He didn't think that it would be possible for them to win. He thought that they would fail, and a big transformation took place. Bam, Trump became president. It was sudden and frightening all at the same time. And this great power he yielded, this great influence he had over the president and over, his title, that he carried, was short-lived, brought to an end in a dreadful and disgraceful way. but there was ability to be reborn, to cooperate, to get a success through cooperation and overcome isolation, overcome prison. But the greater power of the lion or the beast, which I believe is the judge, has command to rupture his success and ruin all his plans. I think that Flynn provided some level of control over Trump. I think that he was some kind of a link between Trump and our otherwise adversaries. He created a safe and trusting environment where he could gently influence others, and this demonstrates a level of soft control where he was able to persuade and coax others to his way of thinking or to his adversary's way of thinking. And in a weird sort of mental place, it was a challenge for him to conquer his greatest fear, to conquer death, because he feels weak. He feels like a failure inside. He doesn't feel strong. And he's morally, he sold out himself, not just his country, is what the cards are telling me. But this power coming in, this judge, will overturn his peace and his truce that he accomplished for himself, that he was able to transform. Because he broke trust. He betrayed country and king. And he's got immunity. I feel like I'm channeling the judge here. He's got immunity. You broke trust and betrayed your country and your king, and you've got immunity. I don't feel like this judge is going to let that slide and is going to further transform the situation. He has the power to hurt him, and he's going to. Because Flynn abused his power and his position, and quite frankly, this judge thinks that betraying king and country should be punished, and he's going to blow or rupture his bubble of protection, his immunity. He's not going to let him get a full victory. He's not going to let the calculations of his sneaky, savvy team win. And I feel like Flynn may end up doing some time. The Strength card here tells me that this judge may go down in history for doing this. You know, this is a great call. Unassumed. But he strongly believes that no act of betrayal of king and country should go unpunished. And he's going to make sure that the former General Flynn's new title is either collaborator or traitor. And them's fighting words. So I think that Trump's side will now turn against this judge, will try this judge, but you don't want to try this judge. You don't want to try this judge. People will try this judge, but you don't want to try this judge. The Five of Wands reverse tells me that in the end, Flynn he's very depressed and tormented. He feels like he's made a situation worse. It was a cunning plan. And this information that he's holding on to, he's going to have to comply and further cooperate. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying. Strictly the energy that I'm reading from the card. Because my conscious mind, what I do know about what's going on, is kind of conflicted with this. With what I'm telling you. But I feel like he will be he's leveraged to cooperate further, and he's also has to bet on whether or not to put his blind faith and trust in this president. The Gran Signore is always the presidential office, right? He's got to bet on whether or not to put his blind faith and trust in this president. And to either I'm just hearing the words play dumb or to cooperate. Because I feel like he's playing a game. I feel like this should be the Five of Swords. But, there's some kind of a promise between these men for a fresh start, for a new start, for a new beginning. Grand Signore has the power to protect you, but since it's in the challenge position, he has the power to protect you. He may not use that power, or he can only protect you for so long. So will Flynn give up more information? Will he cooperate further to avoid pissing off his judge? I feel yes, he will. And in turn, he will end up betraying a promise to Trump. And I feel he's been holding out for a promise, holding out information as a promise to Trump and as Trump's promise to pardon him. Because he's providing some kind of protection to the child, either to his own child or to Trump's child, or both. That might be the information that he's holding out. But where I get conflicted is, you know, it's like if Mueller could give him such a good deal and recommend he do no jail time, then he must have cooperated quite a bit. So that's where I get conflicted with what the cards are telling me, but I can only tell you what the cards are telling me. And my own sense of it, I have to just leave out of the workflow. I feel like in the end, both men will protect their own before they will protect each other. He will do what he has to do to protect his boy or to protect his opportunity. It's a risk to bet on the president. He feels like the president is going to fail. But this president is such a surprise to everyone. His luck. So, but I feel like that the judge scared him straight. I feel like the judge scared him straight. I think he's going to play it safer than betting on Trump. That's my prediction. The Tower reverse here tells me that in order to avoid disaster, he's going to give up the king's love and the king's favor, and possibly the king's child or favorite. And for the king himself or the president, he's got imminent danger or disaster looming right behind him. He sees it coming. He senses it. He's very sensitive and psychic, the King of Hearts is. But in order to avert this danger for himself or for his child, he's going to do something pretty chaotic. It's going to throw the country in crisis. I don't know what it is exactly. When I confirmed, I got Fortuna reversed. So whatever it is, it's just going to delay the inevitable, but it's not going to stop it. In the end, the good guy wins. But there's imminent danger looming around this president. It's true he does have the power to avert disaster for Flynn or for Manafort or for himself or for his children with the pardon, his pardon power, his presidential power. And I feel like when the time comes, he may strike out suddenly. And abuse his power, causing some sort of chaos, disaster, or upset in the process, and break down the structure. He's breaking himself down. Really, he doesn't know. He's not going to save himself. But in a sense, the cards are saying that the structure of the government is highly immoral anyway. I mean, I bet most poor and middle class white people didn't know you had that kind of white privilege until now. But really, you don't have it. It's a rich man's white privilege. But it's definitely a structure that has been built up just for them. And that needs to come crashing down. And at least Trump brought that to our attention. You know? Because the universe is saying this needs restructuring. So I hope I answered your question, Charlene. Now, I wanted to ask, why does Trump still rally for Flynn? Because I'm getting confused here. These are very positive cards, and I feel like, okay, Flynn must feel like he's got a pardon, but he's cooperated, so I'm confused. So I asked, something's going on here. So I asked the cards, well, why does Trump still rally for Flynn and not Cohen when both cooperated with special counsel? And I got the Queen of Wands, clarified by the Tenderness card, the King of Swords, clarified by the Sweet card reversed, and the Three of Cups, clarified by the Letter. So I believe somehow a woman is involved because both of these cards represent queens. Mother energy, Mother Russia. It could be someone's child or children. We have 2 kids here she's holding on to. Promises to be closer, to stay connected. Okay. So like I said, this could be a woman. This could be someone's children, or it could be Russia, Mother Russia. There's some kind of closeness or connection or bond present here between Trump and this woman, whether she be Russia and his children, and Flynn, or all of these involved. I feel like this is Flynn here as well. But Trump is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is detached. He's not fully connected. He can also represent justice and fairness and facts and honesty and lawyers. So this could be the special counsel. This could be Mueller or the justice system. So as I read this, I'm reading this as a challenge, though. A challenge for Flynn. A challenge for his children. A challenge for his loyalty. And if I'm reading it as a challenge, I have to read it upside down. I feel like Flynn is lying. Flynn is a liar. Flynn is a narcissistic, cold liar. He's amoral. He has no consciousness of care. Some of you will understand what that means. He has no consciousness of care, and neither does Trump. So there's no moral affinity to the country that they have. And I still don't feel like I've truly understood or broken down what that's all about, Charlene, as to why he would sell out his country. But he has no soul. Flynn just is one of those people who doesn't have that consciousness of care, and so is Trump. They're quite alike in terms of that. Wow. But where was I? I got sidetracked. So this king he's not fully connected. The justice system they have evidence through Cohen, but they want corroborating evidence through Flynn that connects all of these people together with Russia. Okay? And somehow I guess Flynn has not given that, although my mind tells me, how is that possible if Mueller wants to give him a free pass? Something is still being withheld that we don't know, I guess. And as long as Flynn keeps a hold of that information, Trump is trying to send him a coded message here. He's vocalizing through code that he trusts Flynn has kept their agreement. And I think maybe by Flynn and his team doing what they did to feign entrapment, to backpedal and say, you know, the justice system, it trapped him and didn't make him aware of all of his liberties and rights, that was his way of saying to Trump, yes, I have, you know, I've kept my promise. So I think they were coding each other. But now I feel like Flynn doesn't trust. He's highly suspicious. He doesn't trust. And the judge scared the shit out of the judge scared him straight. And especially with that traitor comment, because it made him think about what's going to happen to Trump and Trump's ability to be able to pardon him, I think. Okay? That's what I feel. That's just the impression I'm getting from this reading. I don't feel like Trump is going to, in the end, be able to protect Flynn. But let me, my dog is, she's wanting me to take her for a walk. I need to brush this. So, where was I? So I think that Trump was sending a message, an underhanded message or promise, coded news, to keep Flynn encouraged that he's still by his side. He will still support him with his justice and his power, as long as he doesn't share information on this woman or that connects him to this woman or this woman to Russia. You know, maybe he's trying to protect his daughter or his children, or he's trying to protect himself. As long as you don't share this information. And as far as like Cohen goes, Cohen, through the evidence that was found on him, we have a letter card here and a letter card here. And anytime you see a piece of paper in a Sibilla, for me, there's evidence or traces. Cohen basically has already given up information that corroborates and connects. So for Trump, he's dead. He's dead to Trump. Trump is the King of Swords reversed, okay? And his good friend, he can turn his back like that on his good friend, you know, because he's a narcissist and he's cold-blooded. And he has no heart. He's a cold bastard. So there you go. That answers that question. He still feels like Flynn is in some way able to hold something back that Cohen was not able to hold back. But Trump doesn't keep his promises. Flynn, I hope you realize that by now. But Flynn doesn't either. I can't see how much time the judge will give Flynn. I don't even know if he'll give him time. He might just give him, based on, it depends on what he gives, what he cooperates with. He might just give him a slap on the wrist. But if he doesn't, I think he might give him, you know, if he doesn't see that, I think he might give him some time. My mind is just like, I still just don't understand how much more he could give him. If Mueller wants to give him a free pass, I mean, how much more could he be holding out? It doesn't make sense to me. It's going to take a lot, though, I think, to convince this judge to ease up on Flynn. I guess I'll end it there, because these cards aren't, they're just telling me Trump is going down, but he's going to try and do something that's going to shake things up before he goes down. And I just don't know exactly what that is. So that's my reading, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, blessings. Bye.